ये वेटिंग रूम का नहीं रखना मोनू,
उसमें ना एडमिट करना पड़ता है।
वही ऑटोमेटिक एडमिट करना, बार बार यहाँ आते जाएंगे।
आप ही होस्ट है ना,
मेरा नाम नहीं है माये।
तो चेंज नहीं हो रहा है।
अच्छा तो मेरे ख्याल से
वो
उसको
जिस नाम
चेंज।
से बना हुआ उसी नाम से शो करेगा ना। दूसरे वाले से खोलिएगा बिना सीधी का।
नहीं नहीं नहीं, मेरे मेल से खोले, मेरे मेल से खोलेंगे। हम्म।
नहीं नहीं, अभी स्टार्ट हो गया। कैसे के देखें।
रिकॉर्ड करने के लिए बोल रहे हैं। हाँ मैं कर रहे हैं। मैम ये ओबीजी डिपार्टमेंट
Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon, distinguished dignitaries, speakers, and dear delegates. I, Dr. Kausar Fatima Firdaus, Assistant Professor, Department of Ilmul Khabalat wa Amrad Niswan, welcome you all on today's webinar on nutrition. National Webinar on Nutrition as a part of National Nutrition Mission, that is Rashtriya Poshan Abhiyan, and this month of September is the Rashtriya Poshan Ma. Poshan Abhiyan is a Government of India's flagship program on overarching scheme for holistic nutrition to improve the nutritional outcomes for the children, adults and girls, pregnant and lactating mothers. This is nothing but a continual support towards Suposhit Bharat, a healthy, malnutrition-free India. Though the Suposhit Bharat initiative, we intend to conceptualize, develop and scale up food-based nutrition. This will also therapeutically address malnutrition in general population and in pregnant population in particular. The reach to goal this Suposhit Bharat, the very first initiative is to focus on the maternal health and well-being, preferably through prevention and promotion of health of the pregnant mothers, that is through nutrition. Anemia in women, especially during pregnancy, is the most frequent derailment of physiology in the world and contributes to poor birth outcomes, including prematurity and low birth weight. Hence, its prevention is very crucial to successfully accomplish the Suposhit Ma Suposhit Bharat initiative. Hence, today's webinar, the aim is to increase the nutritional level of the mothers to ensure the birth of the healthy child. It is well said, the health of a mother and a child is more telling measure of a nation state than its economic indicators. With this short introduction, may I now request Professor Ismat Shamim ma'am for inaugural address. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello.
Proceed, ma'am.
At the outset, I thank Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Taala for making us capable of conducting National Webinar on Nutrition as a part of National Nutrition Mission, the Rashtriya Poshan Ma, September 2021. The theme of today's webinar is Nutritional Supplements in Anemia During Pregnancy, a Unani Perspective. Poshan Abhiyan is the Government of India's leading program to improve the nutritional outcomes in children, adolescents, pregnant women, and lactating mothers by leveraging technology, a targeted approach, and convergence. The National Nutrition Mission, named as the Honorable Prime Minister's scheme for holistic nutrition, that is Poshan Abhiyan, it was launched as a multi-ministerial convergence mission with the overarching vision to make India free from malnutrition by 2022. In order to ensure the community mobilization and people's participation every year, the month of September is celebrated as Poshan Ma across the country. Poshan Abhiyan overall intends to increase the nutritional awareness and responsiveness among mothers, young children, adolescent girls, pregnant women, lactating mothers, family members, community members, healthcare providers about the vital nutrition behavior. I, Professor Ismat Shamim, on behalf of the Department of Ilmul Khabarat for Amrad Niswan, acknowledge the support of our esteemed Director, Professor Abdul Wajid, who is the organizing chairperson of today's event, for providing us opportunity in conducting today's national webinar on nutrition. I also acknowledge the support of our security Professor Vatia Pinto for constant support and encouragement in conducting today's national webinar. Since 2004, the Department of Academic Platform regularly funds journal club seminars, symposiums to keep the students updated in subjects. The department has created more than 300 research and review papers published in various national and international peer-reviewed index journals with high impact factor and more than 11 different authors at the faculty of the Department of Ilmul Khabarat for Amrad Niswan. Faculty of the department has received more than 22 hours of their credit. I welcome today's speaker, Dr. Ashraf Sultana, Associate Professor in the Department of Ilmul Khabarat for Amrad Niswan, to deliver a talk on nutrition supplements and anemia during pregnancy and Unani perspective. I once again warmly welcome all the delegates for attending the National Webinar on Nutrition as a part of National Nutrition Mission, Rashtriya Poshan Ma, September 2021. I hope you all gain thorough insight and better understanding of the theme at the completion of the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the inaugural address. May I now introduce our today's speaker, Dr. Arshia Sultana, Reader, Department of Ilmul Khabalat wa Amraj and Niswan, National Institute of Unani Medicine. Madam completed her BUMS in 1998 and MD in 2003 from NTC Hyderabad. She is currently a reader in Department of Ilmul Khabalat wa Amraj and Niswan and also a NABH Accessor for Unani Medicine. She has more than 17 years of clinical, teaching and research experience. She has to her credit many honors, including Best Faculty Award in 2015 to Young Scientist Award in 2018. In 2019, she was felicitated with Nishane-e-Zohravi. In 2019, Gold Medal for Best Oral Presentation. And in 2020, she received the Best Teacher Award from the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. She has supervised over 15 PG scholars. She is credited with 90 research and review publications at national and international indexed scientific journals and has penned 2 books, presented research papers and invited as guest speaker at national and international conferences. She is a member, advisory board, editorial board member and reviewer in various international and national journals. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Kausar. At the outset, Assalamu alaikum. Because of paucity of time, I thank the organizers for giving this opportunity to share my views on nutrition during pregnancy. I'm sharing my PPT. Okay, able to see my PPT? So today's the program is on Rashtriya Poshan Maha, September 2021, National Webinar on Nutrition. We are going to see nutritional supplements in anemia during pregnancy, a Unani perceptives. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. So what is the learning objective? Does nutritional deficiency causes anemia during pregnancy? To gain a knowledge of Unani perceptics of nutritional anemia during pregnancy, can we treat nutritional deficiency anemia with Unani medicine? To implement the knowledge in clinical practice and to bring awareness regarding diet modification. So anemia, as we all know, anemia is nothing but when the hemoglobin concentration is less than 11 gram or it is 11 gram, then we say anemia. Hemoglobin is a protein attached to your red blood cells which transports oxygen to all the cells of your body. Kindly check your screen is moving. So here, anemia, as we all know, it is hemoglobin less than 11 gram percent, we say it's anemia. What is the perceptives of anemia during pregnancy in Unani medicine? It is also called as Fakhruddam, Sulkunya. There are many other names, but here I am going to address it as Fakhruddam. We see that in Ebris Papyrus in 1500 BC, they have discussed about Fakhruddam or anemia. When it comes to Unani scholars, they specified that Fakhruddam is caused because of faulty dietary habit and imbalance. Therefore, they recommended that proper diet and digestion is a key to balance of akhlaq and health. If Fakhruddam is not treated, it may lead to istisqa. Fakhruddam is a result of the Zawf-e Quwwat-e Maulid-e Khoon due to Suai Mizaj Barid Jigar, which downregulates homeostasis. Simultaneously, the Zawf-e Kulliya exists, which alters the filtration as results in istisqa. So anemia is the most widespread yet most neglected micronutrient deficiency disorder in India. And it is caused because of poor diet, blood loss, rapid growth, such as during pregnancy or disease. Anemia is responsible for 20% of maternal death in third world country. Anemia in pregnancy ranges widely from 40 to 80% in tropics, especially in India. The prevalence of anemia is 80% compared to 10 to 20% in developed countries. Iron deficiency anemia is the most common type of anemia during pregnancy. So we see that when we see based on the severity of the prevalence of anemia, we see that mild anemia during pregnancy is seen in 40% cases, whereas moderate is seen in 34% cases, and in 13% cases, severe anemia is seen during pregnancy, and only 13% of population have normal hemoglobin percent during pregnancy. So when anemia, there are many causes. Here only I am going to highlight about nutritional deficiency anemia. Others I'm not going to discuss. So nutritional deficiency anemia can be caused because of iron, which is the commonest cause of anemia during pregnancy, and folate, vitamin A and B12 are also the other factors which cause nutritional deficiency during pregnancy. So what are the causes? As I said, iron and folic acid deficiency are due to inadequate intake of green leafy vegetables and other iron and folate rich foodstuff is the most common cause of anemia. Second point is poor bioavailability of iron from the phytate fiber-rich Indian diet aggravates the situation. And again, there is some custom in India that pregnant women are not allowed to eat many food items. And some pregnant women have pica habit, that is ingestion of substances having no dietary values. And some women may have loss of appetite or hyperemesis gravidum, which may lead to iron deficiency anemia and nutritional anemia. What is the effect of anemia on pregnancy? Maternal effect. Patient, if suppose a pregnant woman is having mild anemia, it may not have any adverse effect on pregnancy and labor. Whereas in moderate anemia, the patient may have weakness, fatigue, and poor work performance. Whereas severe anemia may cause palpitation, breathlessness, giddiness, edema, and general anasaka. So if the pregnant woman has severe anemia, it may affect the mother as well as it may affect the fetus. What are the maternal effect of anemia? During pregnancy, we can see women may develop preeclampsia, abruptio placenta, preterm labor, cardiac failure, and infections. During labor, the pregnant woman may develop uterine inertia, postpartum hemorrhage, cardiac failure, and shock. During puerperam, women may develop sepsis. There may be subminimulation, or sometimes they may be failing lactation, and the woman may develop venous thrombosis or pulmonary embolism because of severe anemia. What are the effects of anemia on fetus? It can cause preterm birth, IUGR. It may cause birth asphyxia, intrauterine stillbirth, neonatal mortality and morbidity, low mean weight at the time of birth, infection, iron deficiency anemia in the baby, and sometimes the baby may develop hypertension in the later life. What are the signs of anemia? As we all know, woman may have pallor, she may develop glossitis, dermatitis, and edema due to hypoproteinemia and preeclampsia. Sometimes if the woman is having severe anemia or moderate anemia, she may develop soft systolic murmurs in mitral area, and sometimes because of severe anemia, the woman may develop pulmonary edema, because of which they may have fine crepitation at the base of lungs. I'm not going in detail because only 30 minutes has been allotted for me. So I have to complete my topic within 30 minutes. Anemia is a serious problem, especially during pregnancy. Why? Because it is estimated that 136,000 maternal death per year is seen in India. And whenever the mother develops anemia, she may not survive. If suppose the baby is having low birth weight, the baby may not survive, having a high infant mortality rate around 60 per 1,000 live birth. Or if suppose the baby survives also, the baby will develop poor mental development, the baby may develop anemia, or it may develop, may be prone to other diseases. If suppose the baby is girl, there are chances that she may again have anemia before pregnancy. What is the effect of pregnancy on anemia? Pregnancy aggravates any pre-existing anemia. Suppose preconception of the woman is having anemia, it may be exaggerated during pregnancy. Severely anemic patients become symptomatic by the end of second trimester. The risk period for maternal mortality is around 30 to 32 weeks of pregnancy. during labor, immediately following delivery, and puerperal. So how to diagnose? Obviously, we know that diagnosis depends upon the detailed history, clinical examination, and investigations. So what are the investigations usually done in iron deficiency anemia? Is we see hemoglobin percent. Usually, if it is less than 11 to 10 grams, then we say anemia. Again, mild, moderate, severe, depending upon the HB percentage. If it is less than 7, we say severe anemia. 7 to 9, we say moderate anemia, and more than 9 to 11, we say mild anemia. RBC less than 4 million, PCV less than 30%, MCSC less than 30%, low serum ferritin, that is less than 15 micrograms per deciliter, low serum iron content less than 30 micron per deciliter, and increased serum transferrin more than 350 milligram per deciliter. Management, treatment, preventive treatment, and curative treatment. Preventive treatment is prophylaxis in non-pregnant women. Prevention of iron deficiency anemia should start before pregnancy, and 60 milligrams of iron along with folic acid every day for 3 months in pre-pregnancy stage can be given to prevent anemia during pregnancy. So here, when we say patient is pregnant, normally in a normal woman, we see that the total calories per day required by women is different. For example, in first trimester, the woman needs 1800 calories per day, whereas in second trimester, she needs 2200 calories per day, and in third trimester, she needs more calories, that is 2400 calories. So the food should contain grains, vegetables, fruits, dairy products, protein foods, and fat and oils. So we see that the woman should take all the balanced diet to keep the baby and herself away from the diseases. So again, suppose if the mother is having iron deficiency anemia or nutritional deficiency anemia, we have to treat the cause. Suppose the woman is having nutritional deficiency, obviously we have to treat we have to give nutritious diet to the woman. Avoid strenuous exercises, stress and strain. In diet, we can give light nutrition is easily digestible with rich iron content like baise-morak, red meat, fruits like anar, amla, munakka, anjeer, khajur. So these can be given as a supplement, nutritional supplement to a woman when she is pregnant, because it is not harmful during pregnancy. Again, we can give in meat, we can give poultry, fish, liver, dry fruits we can give, green leafy vegetables, green leafy vegetables like legumes we can give, jaggery, apple and banana can also be given during pregnancy to prevent anemia, nutritional anemia during pregnancy. In addition, we can give vegetables and fruits like carrots, grapes, plums, strawberries, tomatoes, potatoes. So whatever we are using daily at her home, the same thing can be given to the woman. And we see that she take a wholesome food, not only junk food or not only chapati. So we have to see that daily she should take vegetables as well as fruits during pregnancy. Then try to cook in iron pot, as it is proved that it significantly increases the amount of iron in the food. So we should use iron tawa, iron kadai to cook the food. Consume more vitamins and iron supplements. So here we can see why egg we can take. Egg is a good nutritious diet which can prevent nutritional deficiency, because we can see that it contains vitamin A as well as it contains iron, and not only vitamin A and iron, we can see it contains calcium also and vitamin D also. So we can see that 15% of vitamin D is present in the egg. Then we can see that in beef also, we can see that the iron is 2.7 milligram and vitamin B12 is around 2.50 microgram. So here nutritional deficiency mainly is caused because of vitamin B12 and iron and vitamin A and folate. So we can see that this beef is also having good iron content and vitamin B12 to prevent nutritional deficiency during pregnancy. Then again, peanut, it's not very costly. Everyone can purchase it. We say chikki. Peanut chikki can be taken daily to prevent nutritional deficiency, because it not only contains iron, but it also contains other vitamins like vitamin B, vitamin E, and other micronutrients like copper, manganese, and magnesium. So, and we can see 1.1 milligram of iron is present in the peanut. So daily, in place of chocolates, we can use peanut chocolates, or we can use peanuts chikkis. Then again, chana. Usually what we do, we eat chana as a supper at 4 o'clock. Usually we eat chana. So chana is also a very good nutrition for iron, because it contains around 60 grams of iron, 60 gram of Chana, if you give, it contains good iron, and we say that it contains around 2.89 milligram percent of iron, as well as it contains folate around 172 micrograms, which can be given during pregnancy, and it acts as a good nutritional food for pregnancy. So daily we can, suppose we don't want to give daily, at least week in three times a week we can give chana. Not only it contains iron, but it also contains phosphorus, protein, and dietary fibers. Then jaggery, we all know that good is also a very good nutritional supplement in pregnancy to prevent iron deficiency anemia. Not only iron deficiency anemia, but other micronutrient deficiency like vitamin B, zinc, phosphorus, and calcium. So we can see that good contains around 11 milligrams of iron in 10 grams of good. Then we can see anar. Again, anar is also having 0.3 milligram of iron content, and not only iron, but it also has fibers and vitamin C and vitamin K, and it also contains folate. So we can see that if we take this regular fruits and regularly we take peanut, jaggery, we can prevent nutritional deficiency during pregnancy. Then we can take dates. We can give khajur. Khajur is a like nabis we can give during pregnancy, which acts a good nutritive, which has a very good nutritive value, and it's very, very useful to prevent nutritional deficiency anemia in pregnant women, because 100 grams of date contains around 0.90 milligram of iron. Not only it contains iron, but it also contains calcium, manganese, copper, and magnesium. Copper particularly is required for the production of red blood cells. So here, how can we make the nabis? You can say the pregnant woman to soak around 5 dates or 5 khajur in night, and morning she can mash it and she can take with milk or with water. If suppose someone doesn't want to take with milk, they can take with water. They can soak the dates in the milk or in the water, and morning they can take this, and it is a very good food not only to treat nutritional deficiency anemia, but they say that if we take daily 5 dates, it helps in the labor also. It helps to ease the normal labor. Then we can take amla. Again, amla contains 1.2 milligram of iron. Not only it contains iron, it also contains vitamin C, 600 milligrams, and it also contains mild quantity of calcium also. So we can take these foods which are easily available at our home and which are nutritious not only for iron deficiency anemia, but for other micronutrient deficiency also. Then anjeer. Anjeer also can be given during pregnancy. We say that around 1 dried fig provides 2% of daily iron requirement, but it's very costly. If suppose you're not able to take anjeer, you can take jaggery, you can take peanuts, you can take chana. Then til, again, til is also very good. It is also having iron around 81%, calcium 97%, and vitamin B6 40%. We can see that both nutritional deficiency like vitamin B6 deficiency and iron deficiency, both can be treated with til. So what we can do, we can give 1 tablespoon of til with 1 tablespoon of honey, which will help to decrease nutritional deficiency anemia during pregnancy. Then gulkhan. For example, when usually pregnant women will have constipation. To relieve the constipation, we can give gulkhan in place of clemafene or Dufalac, because gulkhan is not only a good laxative, but it is also having iron around 3.7 milligrams, which will act as a nutrition for a woman, for a pregnant woman. So we can give gulkhan to the patient in first trimester, because in first trimester we cannot give iron preparations because they may develop gastric intolerance. To prevent the gastric intolerance, we can give gulkhan to the woman, to the pregnant woman as a laxative. Not only it is laxative, it is also having cardioprotective effect. It is also having active antioxidant effect also. Not only it contains iron, it also contains calcium and vitamin C, which helps us to decrease the nutritional deficiency anemia during pregnancy. Then palak, as we all know, palak is a rich source of iron. It contains around 3.2 milligram of iron. Not only it contains iron, it also contains vitamin A, B9, E, and C, and it also contains fibers. So we can give palak, but whenever we are giving palak, we should ensure that the palak is boiled to destroy the oxalic acid present in the palak, which interferes with the absorption of iron. Then kishmish. As we know, kishmish is very tasty and it can be taken during pregnancy. Again, it contains around 1.88 milligram of iron. Not only iron, it contains calcium, potassium, sodium, fiber, which, for example, you can give 9 to 15 munakha or kishmish to the pregnant woman with water or with honey. It is also a very good preparation to prevent nutritional deficiency. Okay. Okay. Then again we can see honey. Honey is also containing iron. Around 3.62 milligram of iron is seen in honey. Then there are many food supplements available in Unani medicine which can be given to prevent nutritional anemia. Like for example, you can give buttermilk. Buttermilk, we can give shikanjabin. Shikanjabin can be also given during first trimester. It prevents vomiting as well as it gives nutrition also to the mother, because we have seen that honey contains 3.2 milligram of iron and vinegar contains sodium. So it prevents not only nutritional deficiency, it not only prevents MSS, but it also prevents sodium deficiency also in the woman. Then we have halwas, like we give suji ka halwa is there. This also can be given during pregnancy, nutritional deficiency in the woman. Like we can give haris. Haris is nothing but it is made with the meat and wheat, which is very famous in Hyderabad. This can be also given during pregnancy to prevent nutritional deficiency anemia during pregnancy. Like that, we have many other nutritional supplements available in Unani system of medicine, which can be given during pregnancy to prevent not only nutritional deficiency, but other type of anemia during pregnancy. So other we can give murakkabad also, but better to go for home remedies which are easily available at home, which can prevent iron deficiency anemia as well as other micronutrient and micronutrient deficiency anemia. So we can give Majune Dabidulwar, Jawarish Jalinu, Sharbate Folat, Sharbate Anar, Kurse Kushte Folat, Kurse Kapsul Hadid also during pregnancy to prevent iron deficiency anemia. But when you are giving Kushte Folat, be very careful that it contains lead which may be harmful to the pregnant woman. So dietary source of iron, poor sources, iron is not present in milk and milk products, and therefore we have to go for vegetables and fruits in which iron content is higher. Then we have to avoid processed and refined foodstuff, and then we have to restrict intake of tea, coffee, and ingesting antacid, as they tend to obstruct the absorption of iron in the body. Foods and supplements that prevents iron absorption also include chocolates, calcium. That means iron tablet and calcium tablet should not be given together because it will prevent absorption of iron. Vitamin E and zinc, which avoid this in cases of iron deficiency anemia. That means when you are giving calcium and iron tablet to a woman, don't prescribe together. Say them to keep at least 1 hour difference when they are taking iron tablet and calcium tablet. Like that also, iron should not be given with the milk because the absorption is decreased. Avoid caffeine. It crosses placenta and enters fetal blood circulation and increases the risk of premature delivery. Avoid smoking as it results in placenta abnormalities and low birth weight. Avoid alcohol. So nowadays, why I have put this means nowadays we are seeing that there is increased intake of smoking, caffeine and alcohol in women also. Previously, we never used to see in our culture that the woman is taking alcohol. But now we are seeing that in high income society, usually women take alcohol, they do smoke, and they take a lot of caffeine. So we have to avoid this during pregnancy to prevent nutritional deficiency anemia as well as to prevent other mortality and morbidity during pregnancy. So treatment in modern, we all know what is the modern treatment. I'm not going in detail. Usually we prescribe ferrous sulfate 60 milligrams for 100 days, but now it has changed to 180 days. And if suppose the woman is not able to take oral therapy, we can go for parenteral therapy, that is intravenous or intramuscular route. So when we have to give intramuscular or when we have to go for oral route means, if suppose the pregnancy is less than 13 weeks and the woman is presenting with iron deficiency anemia, we can give oral iron, or we can, if suppose the woman is not able to tolerate the oral iron, then we can go for IM or IV iron injections. And suppose the pregnant, already the patient has crossed 30 weeks, she's at 30 to 36 weeks, oral iron we can give, but it will take time for the iron to get absorbed and to recover. So we can go for parenteral iron in 30 to 36 weeks. If suppose the pregnant woman is more than 36 weeks, and if the HB is less than 8 gram percent or HB is less than 9 gram percent, then we have to go for blood transfusion. There we cannot give iron infusion or we cannot give oral iron because it will take time for replenishment of iron in the body. So there are different type of irons which are available, which can be given during pregnancy. I'm not going in detail because you people already know when we should give blood transfusion. Anemia is not responding to either oral or parenteral therapy. Then anemia, severe anemia during pregnancy, especially in last trimester, where the patient is going to deliver within 1 or 2 weeks. If the woman is having postpartum hemorrhage, again we have to give iron, we have to give blood transfusion, and when the severe anemia in later month of pregnancy. So what is the conclusion? Anemia in pregnancy is most commonly due to lack of hemoglobin production because of low levels of essential precursors such as iron and folate. Iron deficiency anemia is the commonest type of nutritional anemia, but all forms of iron supplements commonly cause side effects. Anemia in pregnancy is associated with adverse consequences both for mother and the fetus. Nutritional supplements present in diet, if taken in balanced form, can prevent nutritional deficiency anemia. The first wealth is health. With this, I'd like to thank the organizers as well as my director, HOD, and my department for cooperating to present this webinar. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you, ma'am, for such an elaborated lecture on anemia in pregnancy and its prevention using various dietary constituents and Unani supplements. Diets highlighted were nabis, chana, groundnut, amla, anjeer, palak, etc., which are easily available, which a common man can afford and prevent themselves from iron deficiency anemia during pregnancy. The session is open for any questions. Participants, if they do have any questions, can put on. Participants can unmute themselves and pose the questions if they have. No questions? Any questions from the participants? Ma'am, there's a question. What amount of jaggery can be advised to be taken during pregnancy?
Actually, we can take 1 tablespoon of jaggery or 2 teaspoon of jaggery. Around it will be 10 grams to 15 grams. It will be helpful in pregnancy.
Can it be taken in first trimester, ma'am?
Yes, it can be taken because we usually take, we give all this thing. We can give not only honey, jaggery, chana, all this can be given during first trimester. Also, we can give gulkhand also. Gulkhand, shikanjabil, nimbul, though these are given for symptoms during pregnancy, but it can be given to prevent nutritional deficiency anemia. Not only this, we can give nuts also during first trimester because usually iron is not prescribed during first trimester. In that time, we can give nuts, but everyone cannot purchase nuts because almond, all these are very costly. So they can go for groundnut, jaggery, chana, till.
Thank you, ma'am.
These are not costly.
दौरान हमल क्या सिर्फ मौलिद-ए-दम अद्विया दिया जाना काफी है? I think ma'am has already answered this. It is not only the diet rich in iron, but also rich in other vitamins. Ma'am, will you please throw some light on this? दौरान हमल क्या सिर्फ मौलिद-ए-दम अद्विया दिया जाना काफी है?
मौलिद-ए-दम, see here we are not giving any, we are giving nutritional supplements first. First of all, here what we are presenting is nutritional supplement what we are giving because we want to prevent iron deficiency and other micronutrient deficiency during pregnancy. So here as a preventive measure, we are giving supplements. Suppose the woman is having anemia. So only giving Maulid-e-Khun is not enough. There we have to, because there is Suya-Mizaj in Jigar. So we have to give Majune-Dabidul Wad also. If suppose the anemia is not because of nutritional deficiency, the cause is some other anemia. In those cases, we have to rectify or we have to correct the liver function also along with Maulid-e-Dam drugs. So again, we have to treat the cause. Here only my topic was only stick to the nutritional anemia. That's why I've just said about nutritional deficiency anemia. So if we go for whole anemia, we have to see what is the main cause of anemia. Depending upon that, we have to treat not only in Unani as well as in conventional medicine. First treat the cause, then we have to treat the anemia.
Ma'am, there's a question. Dates having cervical ripening action. So in that case, is it safe to be used in first trimester?
Yes, because I'm giving, see, in daily practice, now what I'm doing now, every patient I'm saying to take at least 5 dates per day. Like a
Will
Nabis.
that not have effect on cervical
No,
dilatation?
see, cervical dilatation, usually we see that it is having estrogenic effect. Date is having estrogenic effect. But what we see is that in early pregnancy, the cervical cervix is not having that number of estrogen receptors as we see, or oxytocin receptors, or what we see in the last trimester. There is a difference you should remember. For example, if you're giving oxytocin low dose during first trimester, it will not have any effect during pregnancy first trimester. We have to give higher doses. Likewise, date also, because oxytocin receptors are increased in last trimester. So it will help in cervical wrapping in last trimester only. So we can give safely dates during first trimester also. Because what I'm doing, we are practicing now. Daily, I'm saying each and every patient to take dates from first trimester itself.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, if the GTT is borderline, can jaggery, dates, munakha that are high
See,
glucose, can this be given?
Jaggery is having sucrose. Sucrose is easily absorbable glucose. Again, what you're saying is GTT is like we are having a upper limit. We can say to avoid other refined sugars in that cases, because sugar has to be given during pregnancy. We cannot stop. So what we can do, we can say to stop refined sugar. Say the woman not to take any refined sugar. Say her to take jaggery. Also, when she is taking jaggery, let her decrease the other content of food, so that she should not go for increased glucose level. We can do like that.
I think this question is already answered. It is a continuation of the previous question. क्या दौरान हमल सिर्फ मौलिद दम अद्विया देना काफी है, जबकि मौलिद दम अद्विया देने से इफाका नहीं होता. In that case, I think we have to clarify the other causes. We have to differentiate the other causes of anemia, and we have to address those nutritional deficiencies.
See, like whoever is asked the question, if he is having the answer, let him answer it, because it is a platform to learn. So if suppose a person is asking this question, if he is having the answer, let him answer it. Let them answer it. Whoever is asked the question, if suppose they are thinking that only Maulid Dam is not enough, what other things can be given during pregnancy, they can discuss in this forum if they want.
The session is open for discussion. Those who want to speak can unmute. First raise your hands, then unmute and speak up. And for all the participants, I would like to tell there's a feedback link given in the chat box. You can please log in and give your valuable feedbacks. Any more questions?
Anemia is a very vast chapter. Here only because we are celebrating Poshan Maha. And what are the things which can be given in Unani system of medicine, only we have highlighted that only here. Because if you go for iron infusion, iron tablet, it's a bit huge. It will take 1 hour to explain what is that, which iron should be given, which iron should not be given in conventional medicine. So it's a huge topic. Because of paucity of time, only 30 minutes, I have limited only to nutrition.
I think no more questions, ma'am. With the permission of our HOD, may I now conclude, ma'am? May I now request our HOD, Professor Vasudha Begum, ma'am, for vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Assalamualaikum. Very good afternoon. I thank Almighty for His Almighty Allah Ta'ala for His restored blessing. Then I thank our director sir for providing the opportunity to conduct the program Concentration Nutrition and Pregnancy in view of Rashtriya Poshan Maah. Then I thank the organizing committee, physics scholars and others who joined hands in conducting this program. My special thanks to Dr. Ashia Sultana, leader Department of Biology at Marathon Islam, and accepted that to deliver a talk on nutritional implementation in pregnancy. With a short notice,
She has discussed all the aspects of nutrition values in pregnancy, both for the mother and future to grow healthy, and the Unani concept also. My thanks to Professor Ismail Khalil for her invaluable speech and Dr. Professor Fatima Firdaus as moderator for today's webinar. Then I thank all the participants for attending this program and making lectures and upgrading the knowledge. Once again, I thank one and all, and thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am. I, on my personal behalf, once again thank all the delegates and hope to see you all very soon with few of such short webinars in near future. Thank you once again.